Hello, welcome back. Thank you for checking out part 2 of my sock instructions. So I have come to my 12th round with the first color. Just a short review. I'm making a sock here, pretty long sock. And all I'm using is natural yarns. I've chosen Kaboo from Lion brand. And here's the label. You can take a look at all the specifications here. It's a really nice yarn. And the size needles I'm using is 3.25 millimeter. And what I've been doing, I casted on 56 stitches, and I'm using for the entire shaft, I'm using the same pattern: knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. I switch from the blue to the beige after 12 rounds, so now I'm at the 12th round here at the end. And now we're going to go to the beige color. So there's several ways you can do that, switching from one color to the next. And you can choose whichever one you like best. I'm going to show you 2 or 3 different ways. You can start with the next color like this and just continue with both colors here for a moment. And that's fine. You can do it that way. What happens when you do that, the first few stitches, you have both colors on here and it's a little bit thicker. And that's okay. I use it a lot. Sweaters, socks, whatnot. I haven't used it on this particular sock. So, and then you can just knot those 2 yarns together if you want. I'm gonna switch back and forth between colors, so I'm not going to cut this blue one off yet. What I decided to do, I'm using one of my crochet stitches. I just made a slip knot or slip stitch, and that's how I'm going to start my first stitch here. Now I'll put it on my knitting needle. That's all I did here, so it's nice and tight and doesn't go anywhere. That's my first knit stitch, and then I go to purl and just keep doing the same thing I've been doing with the blue color. Knit, purl, knit, purl. If you're still not so good with it, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little closer up. Knit and purl. Yep. Make sure yarn goes through. Knit and purl. Knit and purl. And just continue doing that. What's going to happen in the beginning, you have to keep tightening up your yarns there a little bit as you come around the beginning and the end of the round. So I'm just going to continue knitting here. Knit, purl, till we come to the end of the round, and then I can show it to you more closely what that's going to look like. Of course, when you first start a new color, then the beginning end part can be pretty loose. Oh, pearl, knit, pearl. Even I make a mistake sometimes and make a knit instead of a pearl or vice versa. And if that happens and you notice it a few rounds later, you can fix that. You don't have to go all the way back. You can just drop that one stitch as far down as needed and pull it back up. It's not difficult. I might show you that in a later video, how to make repairs like that. And now we're on needle 4. We're coming to the end of this first round. And I'm going, here you see how it pulls easily. The loops pull to be really big, so you have to just tighten it back up. No big deal. That's going to be in the beginning when you first start that new color. But as we get to the other rounds, so when I do the same thing here with the mauve, with the pink color, it's going to be the same way. But then after that, once all the colors have been added, then I just take turns. I don't cut that yarn off. I just continue switching the colors, and I'll show you on the other sock what that looks like. So here we go, starting the second round of the page. So I have this, that's on the back of my sock. So I'm just going to turn it inside out here and show you what that looks like. So it can be done that way. If you don't like that, you are more than welcome to cut it off after each change and then stitch up the loose ends. I just stitched up 3 loose ends, the blue one in the beginning, then the beige and the pink, and that's all I had to hide, and the rest of them I just leave them like that. That's okay, but it's a preference, whatever your preference is. And I'll just continue on with the beige. Oops, made a mistake. Pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl. I keep saying that, it might put me to sleep. So I like to do this kind of work in front of the TV because I don't really have to think, and I don't have to look at it either. I literally knit this in the dark, don't ever look at it, and just keep going. Just keeps my hands busy. Makes me feel like I accomplished something even when I sit down. And I kind of like the sound of the needles. I always liked that when somebody's knitting with multiple needles, that little tick, tick, tick sound. So it almost sounds like a chime, doesn't it? It's really relaxing. That's why it's a therapy. So this is not really my job, it's my hobby. It's definitely my therapy. Makes me feel good. Especially with natural materials. I love working with natural materials. So now we're starting the third round here already with this second color. I'm gonna pull this back in a little bit, tighten it all up. And looks pretty good. Can't really see where the beginning and end was. So that's what we want. So third round with the beige. And then I'm going to switch to my mauve, to my pink. And we'll continue knitting in this way. Pink for 12 rounds, beige for 3 rounds, blue for 12 rounds, beige for 3 rounds, and I'll keep going until I have the desired length. So this was kind of a shorter video, and it might take me a little while to reach that full length of that sock, depending on how much time I have over the next days. It might take me a week, all depends. I might get it done in a day. But be patient. I will show you then, once we get to the bottom of the shaft, how I'm going to continue there, how we're going to calculate how many stitches we use for the heel. I'm going to use a German short row heel for this sock. I find it to be the easiest one, and I don't like complicated. These make really pretty socks, so I like to stick with it. The German short row heel, also called boomerang heel or Deutsche Bumerangferse. I really like it. A lot of people like it. I'm not very much about the complicated stuff unless it really produces much better results. Then I will practice something new. Alright, so that's it. If you like what you see, please leave me a like, subscribe, share, and stop by often to see the progress. And leave me comments and suggestions. I might make some mistakes. I'm sure I will make some mistakes because this is not my profession, as I said. So if you catch something that's not correct, let me know. I'm open to it. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.